Thank you, everybody, for coming out. It's really important to support our constitutional rights, more specifically our Second Amendment rights in New Jersey. Absolutely, because this state is one of the most restrictive states, arguably the most restrictive states in the entire nation, and them taking away our constitutional rights is just ridiculous. It's unheard of. We need to organize, strategize, and mobilize, and this is step one. Our first speaker today is going to be Nick Magner. He runs the New Jersey 2A Sanctuary, who does a lot of great work in all your local municipalities and your counties around the entire state. So, Nick?
What's going on, everybody? I'm Nicholas Magner. I am the president and one of the board members of New Jersey 2A Sanctuary. We're a group here in New Jersey that realize that our rights are being oppressed upon, that New Jersey doesn't take our constitutional rights of the Second Amendment seriously, and because of that, we want to do something about it. This is something that is important to me, and it should be to many people, because the issue of protecting yourself, protecting your family, is something that broadens across the spectrum. It doesn't hit a political party. Human rights are everyone's rights. And when it comes to human rights, there's no better tool than a firearm to protect our own human sovereignty. That's why this is so important. And this movement and what's going on here is not able to be done without us here at the grassroots, without the people that are getting together on a Saturday morning and showing our support for our Second Amendment. That's why this is very important. This is we the people. And in New Jersey, thank you. We the people. And I feel like in New Jersey specifically, we have forgotten what it means to be we the people. We say we the people all the time. We talk about the Constitution, but we're not doing anything about it. We're online, we're on Facebook, and we're in different groups. We're complaining about everything that's going on, but there's very few of us that are actually getting out there and doing it. And that's why I think that New Jersey 2A Sanctuary and our Second Amendment is so important, because we're grabbing people at the grassroots. We're rabble-rousing people at the grassroots to get together for a common cause, and that's our human sovereignty. Again, the reason why I do this is for a very selfish reason, in my opinion. I do this because I want my two children, my young children, to live freer in New Jersey than I have. We have three options when it comes to New Jersey. You can leave New Jersey because you don't like the laws, which a lot of people are doing now, especially because of the tyrant in our governor's office. We can be okay with the laws, which a lot of people are also doing now. But for me, the only option and the third option is to fight for our rights here in New Jersey. And that's what we need to do as we the people. People say, don't tread on me. You see it all over the place. You see the Gadsden flag. You see, don't tread on me. You see, come and take it. We need to bring that back. We need to bring that feeling back as people in New Jersey. We say it all the time, but we don't really mean it. Don't tread on me. We the people. Don't take our rights. Don't take away our rights to be able to provide for our family. Don't take away our rights to be able to protect our family and ourselves and our property. These are minimal. These are rights that we are born with. These are God-given rights that we all should show our support for. And I think we've been complacent in New Jersey. It's taking, since the 60s, we have let this go on. People talk about how there's a fallacy of a slippery slope. The slippery slope isn't something that really happens. This is the slippery slope. We've been complacent for so long that our rights are dwindled to nothing. The ability to protect our family, to protect our property, to provide subsistence by hunting for our families has been taken down so low. This issue is a human rights issue. It goes across the whole spectrum, and it doesn't just affect one person or one political party. And we need to do our jobs here at the grassroots to get together and show our governor, whom is a tyrant, and to show other people and other politicians that if you want the support of the people, that you need to support our Second Amendment as well. And I know it's very important because voting is coming along now. We're getting into another election. We're going to be electing, in the presidency and soon enough, our governor and congressional districts and things like that. What we need to remember is that somebody who supports the Second Amendment fully would typically support the other constitutional rights as well. And we need to remember and hold that above important. I'm somebody who hates single-issue voters, but being in this movement now has drawn me to being such a single-issue voter, because if you can't protect yourself and you can't protect the Constitution, you can't protect our human sovereignty. So again, I would just like to say that I'm thankful for everyone coming out. Thank you, Marty Weber. Thank you to Jesse Ernstrom for organizing something like this. And remember, we the people can do this. Thank you.
My name is Jesse Ernstrom, and I'm glad you guys all came out. It takes us to come out here in order to get something going. And we definitely, obviously, need to organize. Yeah. We need to organize and strategize and mobilize as we the people, as Nick was saying. It's very important that we do more than just argue with each other on Facebook. We can argue with each other on Facebook until we're dead every single day of the week. But if you're not going out, you're not going to your township meetings, you're not going to your county freeholder meetings, you're not talking to your representatives, if you're not asking them to do something about what you stand up for, then you're talking on deaf ears. You're going on Facebook and you're wasting your time. Facebook is a great place to meet people and to socialize, but it's not a great place to establish policy. We need to establish policy at our township meetings, at our county meetings, and on the state level, on the federal level, because nobody is respecting the Second Amendment or the Constitution anymore. You don't even see Republicans standing up for the Constitution at this point. They're anti-Second Amendment with the red flag laws. The Libertarian Party is the party that's going to be our Second Amendment saviors from here on out. And realistically, that's where we need to organize. I want to get everybody chanting a little bit right here. So let's get a USA chant going on real quick. USA! 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 That's right. It takes us from the USA in order to make any change. He talks about we the people over and over again because it needs to be embedded into your mind that we the people are the ones who make the change. It's not just the politicians who make the change. The politicians work for us. They are your employees, and make sure that they know that, because they don't seem to understand that they work for you. They're doing whatever they want to do. They're creating an anti-competitive market so we can't open up businesses and compete. They're moving in these super corporations with tax abatements and destroying our local economy so we can't start our own small business. And it's just unheard of. Nobody's fighting for the people anymore, and this is where we start to fight for the people as Americans, as New Jersey residents, as we the people. You are all coming to this right today. It is the most important step because this is how we organize as people. This is how we get together as like-minded individuals, and this is how we spread the message of liberty. Liberty is the most important thing in America. We are unique to this world because we love liberty. America, the Constitution, it's all based off of my freedom, your freedom, and our freedom. And if we're not fighting for it, then they think that we don't care about it. But let me tell you, we care so much about our freedom and our liberty. That's where we come together and we continue to fight for our liberty. And I am thankful for everybody being here today because it is important to come together. Maybe we're not all in the Libertarian Party yet, but but we all agree that liberty is the most important aspect and the Constitution is the most important law in the land of America. This is our land. This is the land of the home of the free and the land of the brave. Let's show them that we are brave. Let's show them that we are free. We need to continue to organize. Today's a good step forward, but this can't be your last step forward. You need to get out, get together with your local politicians, tell them what you want from your township. Go to your township meetings, go to your county freeholder meetings. Let them know that they need to start standing up for the Constitution. Talk to your state legislators. New Jersey is one of the most restrictive states for not just the Second Amendment. They take away our Fourth Amendment, they take away our Second Amendment. They are biased in the First Amendment. Realistically, New Jersey doesn't support the Constitution. They support the Democratic Party. But the people of New Jersey are far different than the politicians who run this place into the ground. We love this state. It is beautiful. And you hear a lot of people say, oh, well, if you love your guns so much, go to Georgia, go to South Carolina. They love guns there. Well, I got 2 words for you. Fuck you. And I'm sorry for that language, but I love New Jersey. This is my state. I've been here for 27 years. I plan to be here for 27 more years. And I'm only going to get louder. I'm only going to get more supportive of the Second Amendment, of liberty. I'm going to be here, so get used to it. USA! 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 The next speaker is going to be your congressional candidate for the 3rd Congressional District. So if you're in this town that we're in right now, pay attention, because Marty Weber is going to be your Second Amendment candidate. He's amazing. He has given us this property to rally together, to organize, and start this whole scene.
How you doing, people? Like you said, Marty Weber, I'm one of you guys. I'm not a politician. Never will be. DC's not working for us. Look at the Democrats. Look at the Republicans. They've gotten nothing down. Nothing. Nothing is done. The support that's being thrown my way, even last night, what I heard from the Ocean County Republican Party, they would like to see Richter step down and them throw their support my way. They said, would you come back? I said, hell no. Because I am not going to work for a party and be a puppet for a party. I want to work for you people. I want to come back, talk to the mom and pop businesses, the schools, all that stuff. I'm one of you guys. I'm going to go to D.C. with work boots on. I will never, ever wear a 3-piece suit in D.C. I'm going down there to work for you guys. I think we should have term limits, and I will fix the VA healthcare for the veterans that are out there. We need somebody who's going to step up to the plate. I'm ready.
We're ready for you.
Thank you, guys. I mean, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. We got to start voting the person and not the political lines. It's wrong that you vote R or D or whatever you want to vote. Vote the person from now on. And I think if we start doing that, it'll work. And I truly believe, from the bottom of my heart, this is going to be my seat. And New Jersey is going to say, holy shit, look what we got down there working for us. Because I guarantee I'll be the best thing. Jim Saxon was a great guy. They said he was one of our best leaders we ever had in this district. And the Joint Base is now calling me Baby Jim. So I take it as a good route. I mean, spread the word, guys. We can do it. And people like Jesse and you, we need some younger people to start getting involved. We need to get these old farts that are rich and career ones down there, get rid of them. We don't need that no more. I'm not college educated, I'm high school educated. I served the U.S. military. I mean, I'm just a people's person. And I've been a volunteer all my life. I'm ready to get away from my landscape business on LBI. I want to do this for the next 4 years and then step down there and let someone else step in. We need to start doing term limits. We really do, people. That's another thing. They said you can't get it done. Bullshit. I want to go in there next January and start the paperwork 4 years from now, the next presidential election. I want that question for us to answer, not them. Put it on the ballot. Should we have term limits? I think the American people would say, hell yes. And that's how we can get that done, because Congress will never vote for themselves. And they're all about themselves. So thanks, guys, for being here. And hopefully, come November 3rd, we see the change come.
Thank you, Marty. What a wonderful speech. Thanks again for having us. Our next speaker is going to be the 4th Congressional candidate, Libertarian candidate. His name is Mike Rufo. He is the strongest Second Amendment candidate in the entire nation. So we love you, Mike. Thank you very much.
That's a pretty big talk. I don't know if I can live up to the fill of those shoes, but I'm going to do the best I can. Look at all you beautiful people. You guys are gorgeous. That's amazing. Look at that. So I see Marty's got a ton of support here, and I love to see it. Obviously, he's a local business owner. He's a local individual in the community, and my campaign is basically centered on one thing: decentralize everything. Okay? Here's the problem with the federal government. So sometime in February, there was a group of people that were protesting and rioting in this place called Boston. And they were burning down some businesses, a couple of people who might have agreed with a certain center of centralized control, and people didn't like that. So then they sent in some troops to protect a specific business. And then one day, those no good, bad people were throwing snowballs at this one troop. And all of his friends came around, and all the other troops came around to defend him. And then one of them got a little trigger happy, and he pulled the trigger. Next thing you know, the greatest revolution in the history of man took place. And one of the things that sparked that revolution was the right to bear arms and the right to defend yourself from tyrannical oppression, whether from others or here at home. And it's the here at home thing that everybody seems to forget about when it comes to don't tread on me. See, democracy is a beautiful thing. It gives the people the right to speak their voice. But ladies and gentlemen, 51% can be just as tyrannical as one sole individual. As a matter of fact, a 51% tyranny is more dangerous than a single individual on tyranny. Therefore, we need the Second Amendment more than any nation ever in the history of man has needed it. To overthrow the opinion of 51% of your peers, you need to be able to defend yourself. Lysander Spooner said that just because I vote does not mean I submit to the will of your government. The fact that I vote is my first line of self-defense. My first line of self-defense from those trying to vote to impose their views and their lifestyle upon me. My last line of defense is the gun in my hand. For those of you that don't know, Lysander Spooner was an abolitionist in the 1800s. He was a philosophical anarchist, not the Antifa anarchist that we have all had drilled into our brains over the last 6 months. But he did believe that the individual should be the most empowered individual in this nation. That the individual should be the one that steps up and speaks for themselves and has the right to get what they need. We should not have people from 3,000 miles away telling us how to live our lives. Now you may say to me, but Mike, Washington, D.C. is only like 300 miles away, dude. What do you mean 3,000 miles away? Yeah, well, Nancy Pelosi's 3,000 miles away. And every time she puts a law up and she convinces other people to vote on the laws that she wants to get passed, she's telling you how you can and cannot live your life. And don't tell me they won't tell you where you can and can't go, because we've been living through that tyranny the last 6 months. I used to sit in the kitchen of my parents' house and I'd tell them, the government can tell you whatever they want. They can tell you where to go. They can tell you who to be friends with. They can tell you what kind of food to eat. And they would look at me and you know what they would say? You're crazy. You know what I told them back in June? Who's the crazy one now? That is why your Second Amendment right is the most important right. The 9th District just shut down the ban on the magazine capacities over in California. So let's hope that our district courts are paying attention to that, and that sets the precedent to have the judicial system protect us the way they're supposed to. Guys, I'm not here to ask you to do anything other than let people know that if you want a true Second Amendment advocate on your side in Congress, Marty Weber, Jesse Ernstrom, myself, we're true Second Amendment advocates. You will never hear me say, take the guns first and ask questions later. I will never support a bump stock ban. I will never support a magazine limit. I will never prevent you from being able to arm yourself with the same type of arms that the government is allowed to use against you. Yeah, you should be able to own an M1 tank. I don't care. It doesn't make a difference. You should be able to defend yourself. I want a fighter jet in every driveway. Thank you very much for coming out. Like I said before, you guys are all beautiful people. This is a wonderful thing. I love seeing like-minded people get together. Realize that you're not alone. You are not alone. There's a large community of people out there who want exactly what you want. Facebook is not reality. Facebook is just full of people who got nothing better to do, who love to spit their opinion, and would never say the things they say to you on Facebook in person. Because they're not here. They're not here calling you what they called you last week on Facebook to your face. They know you're here. You said, I'm going on Facebook, right on the thing, on the event. You're friends with them. It popped up on their timeline. Where are they? They're not activists. Today you became an activist. Remember that. and know that it's you that's powering the movement to make sure that the people and the individual, the most oppressed upon group in this country, the individual, is what will rise again in this nation and be what it was intended to be. Thank you very much. Everybody have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you all for coming here. This has been a wonderful day so far. Let's keep going with the wonderful day. You're all here to support the Second Amendment and the Constitution. Make sure that you talk to either myself, Jesse Ernstrom, Mike Rufo, who just spoke, or Marty Weber, who's running in the 3rd Congressional District, because one of us will probably be trying to represent you in Congress. We've got a lot of good ideas that the Republicans and Democrats don't really listen to, that the average working class people want to see happen.